phone is ringing. I answer it, and it's my mom. And she said, Jason David? And that's when I knew I was in trouble. Because David is my middle name. My actual last name is Slicer, but it's spelled weird. And this is not a joke. People keep pronouncing it Slutter. And it's very hard to preach after the pastor says, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from California, we have a Slutter. So, that's not even a joke. That's why I go by my first and middle name, Jason David. Turns out my mom let my 5-year-old brother name me. 5 years old? That is so much power for a 5-year-old. I was this close to being named Poop Nugget. Thankfully, Mom, she said, are you okay? And I said, well, we were just surrounded by 3 sharks. And my mom said, I knew it. I knew you were in danger. Because 5 minutes ago, God dropped it in my spirit to pray for you. Sure enough, when we get home, it's all over the news. At this point in my life, it feels like I've survived half of the animal kingdom. In fact, that one was so traumatic, we turned it into a comic book for kids. This is me on a surfboard. Here's the sharks. Here's the beaver. Here's the seagulls that bit me. And but here's the thing. My wife and I, we met as teachers. And we learned something. When kids, we have some kids here, when kids hear a sermon and they get what we call a gold nugget, some truth from the Bible, it can take days, weeks for them to really process what they've learned. And if we're not careful, we don't give them enough time to process. We immediately are like, all right, tomorrow's school, and we just move on. And it's really important that they have the time to process what they've heard. And so